Hey, everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, Tom Cruise tries his best to knock out Wonder Woman out of the top place in the box office. It does not go very well at all. We'll talk about that and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
There you go, the box office dance, illustrated by Kari Lane right there.
I forget what I was watching, but I was watching a commercial, and I could have sworn it was the same music as this, and I was like, "That's our music! How dare they?" I was like, "Wait a minute, no!" But yes, anyways.
Shout out to a former member of the show, Richie Sky. We never got to hear his special song.
I know, right? He was supposed to make us a song.
Never happened.
Yay.
Darn you, Richie Sky! How could you not do that for us? Hey, everybody! Welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Of course. This is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we like to
prognosticate.
There it is. Prognosticate.
For those of you who are listening, Frank was just like, and
yep,
please.
and nope. My pregnant pause there. Yes, that's right. Prognosticate about the box office that lie ahead. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
I just watched the show, and they were like, "Let's stop with the pregnant pauses," and then the person did it again, and now I'm blanking on what show that was because it was really might have been on Sherlock. It's pretty funny. I don't know if you guys don't remember. Anyway, my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. And we do have a live chat up. So if you're watching this live, comment and we shall see it. And we will probably engage with you online in this way. If you watch this later, comment down below and let us know what you thought of the box office numbers. And we might ask you a question later.
That's
right.
right.
We do that sometimes.
And the person that makes sure that you can not only see us, but hear us as well is the one, the only, Neil Plumley.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Was that deliberate, or was I just slow on the draw? I guess we might never know.
That's true.
You can find me all over everywhere at the Neil Plumley, TAGNEILPLUMLE. Why?
Oh, because you're handsome. That's
why not?
Yeah.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Don't just give us one thumb on the YouTube channel. Throw in 2. That's right. Like that very thumb right there.
I'm like, how far over do I need to go for your camera?
You can also, as Kari mentioned, the chat is up and running, so feel free to jump in. Share your thoughts about movies in general or anything that happened this weekend at the box office in particular. But we'll kick things off. I mean, it was highly contested amongst us last week about, hey, what's going to be number 1?
Yes.
Will it be The Mummy? Will it be Wonder Woman? We had some various different opinions there.
Pretty sure I was like, no, The Mummy. Well, it's Wonder Woman.
And Wonder Woman did incredibly well, so much so that
Yes.
it retained its title as a king or queen, I should say, of the box office.
Queen of the Amazons.
There you
Come
go.
on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Brought in another $57.1 million, just a 44.6% drop.
It's not bad.
From last week. I think we all agreed that it would be less than 50% drop.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so. Mm-hmm.
So look at that. And Neil, I know he was going to be checking to see if Avatar actually had less of a drop in its second week
Did
as
you
well.
find that, Neil?
I'm actually looking it up right now. I'll let you
Cool.
guys know.
All right.
Yes. Well, please enter in with the breaking news.
There's a lot of people definitely watching Wonder Woman as a second viewing too. I've seen a lot of people say that they're they really liked it and so they're going to go again, or they brought someone else who hadn't seen it yet.
So for you, would you go to that again, or would you say, well, I have such little time. If I'm going to go to the movies again, I'd want to see something I haven't seen yet.
It's a mix. Only time I generally ever see something again, especially in theaters, is if I'm seeing it with someone who hasn't seen it. Because then in that way, it's like you get to relive it and get a new view on it. Though, yeah, generally in theaters, very rarely do I see something again. And at home watching something, only if I'm probably showing it to somebody else.
Okay.
But I do enjoy that a lot. Like if I have a friend, I'm like, you haven't seen this movie? We're watching this movie. Or a show, I'll be like, you haven't seen this show? I'll watch it with you. Because then, yeah, it's brand new experience in a way because you have someone else there.
Oh, interesting. All right, look at that.
And then hearing their theories, you're sitting there going, oh, really?
Must be nice to have friends, Kari.
Oh, you have friends.
I don't have any.
I have some information on Avatar.
Woo!
Breaking news, everybody.
Dun, 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 dun. It didn't have a larger second weekend, but this is super interesting because it did 77 million in its first weekend, and it did 75 in its second.
Wow.
It was a 1.8%
Wow.
drop.
That's crazy.
And that's, I mean, we were talking before the show for those watching now, because I mentioned how there's a large word of mouth with that movie. I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I think it's Archit. I'm not really sure, but said in the chat, I watched it twice, referring to Wonder Woman, so yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I guess that was the big
Do
thing.
you watch movies twice?
Very rarely in the theater.
Yeah.
I'll more often watch it again when I use my second viewing. More often that will be when it gets back to like digital release. I'll pick it up then.
Or if it's a movie where it's going to be subsequent sequels, I will marathon to refresh for those, depending on the film.
So of course, and all the big talk around Wonder Woman this week was the fact that how Warner Brothers wasn't really prepared for the success of the film, and that Patty Jenkins is not signed for the sequel yet, and so hopefully that she, when that negotiation starts, she will be properly compensated for that. So that'd be really cool to see what kind of deal that she gets.
Yeah. A couple people in the chat are generally saying, don't see movies twice. Bruce Lee in the chat says, saw Force Awakens twice. I did see Force Awakens twice, if only because the second time was a friend who hadn't seen it yet, too. So we don't have time, and there's so many movies and shows.
Yeah,
It's really hard to want to see something again.
That's why I know Alvin says there in the chat that there's so many new movies coming out each month, and especially during the summer. That, I mean, there's just, there's new stuff every single week coming out, so
And
it's
then
tough.
even Alvin says, yeah, too, plus old movies I haven't seen yet. Exactly. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, wait, I never saw that one thing. I need to go back. Sam Jones says says they're with you. Don't watch movies twice in the theaters. Yeah, it's kind of, unless it's, really good or you've seen it again with a group or another person.
I was going to, and I just ran out of time. See, that's the thing where I was going to see The Mummy, which I did, but I was like, well, I know Kari was on my case, as well as Neil, about the original Mummy film. Not the original, excuse me, the Brendan Fraser take of The Mummy.
I thought that was perfect timing. Alexis is like, this movie's great. And then Neil's like, yeah. And then a few other AfterBuzz hosts were like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. And I'm like, Frank, do you see this post over here? Look at all these other AfterBuzz hosts. I love it.
Yeah, that does no.
Did you rewatch it?
I was going. I just didn't have enough time, but I feel like I should give it a watch before next week. I'd make the time to go watch The Mummy, so that at least by next week, when Neil, spoiler alert, has seen it, we could talk a little bit more in depth about the compare and contrast. So speaking of The Mummy, that came in at number 2. Good old Tom Cruise and the debut of the Universal's Dark Universe franchise. Underperformed a lot, way less than people were predicting. I ranked it, brought in $32.2 million domestically.
I love that so many of the articles online were like, we are going to use the puns for sure. They're like, undead on arrival, or like The Mummy, it's a franchise that shouldn't be reawakened, or just, they did so many puns, and you're sitting there going, oh man. But I wonder how many articles go, wait, what did other people say? I can't use that one.
Yeah, that's right. It's like,
I can't, Dan, you stole the pun I wanted. Yeah.
Now what am I going to do?
Yes.
So let's do a little a mini deep dive. Of course, as always, we won't do any spoilers or anything, as we're for a film that, well, I don't know if many people will be racing to the theaters to see it, but still, there's some out there that haven't had a chance to see it yet. So we'll keep it spoiler free. But so that I did go see the film on Saturday. I'm always a sucker for a Tom Cruise film, so I wanted to go check it out, and just intriguing about like what this world building is that Universal is trying to get into. I mean, they're following the footsteps of Marvel, DC to a lesser extent. They're trying to, well, everybody's trying to catch up to what Marvel has built up gradually, which has been fantastic. DC has pretty much hit the pedal to the metal, trying to catch up incredibly quickly to so far mixed results until Wonder Woman came along. Certainly Batman vs. Superman and the Man of Steel film.
How much do you love the image where they have Wonder Woman carrying Batman and Superman? She's like, I got this.
That's right. There you go.
So funny. I love it.
So this introduces their whole concept. Like all these, they're going to do the new modern takes of all these Universal horror films.
Thank you, Ken. Mummy buried by Wonder Woman. Yeah, there's so many good puns that you're just like, good, like slow clap. Sorry, continue.
Oh no! So this basically introduces that where basically Russell Crowe plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We've all known that from all the news articles and stuff. And he's basically like the central point of this, which I think you could use him throughout all the films.
Wait, he's playing within The Mummy. He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
Really? It's all been announced in the stuff. Oh, really?
Just did a gesture of over my head.
But basically, the hook for all of this is that there is a secret organization that deals with all these kind of supernatural or mystical threats.
Okay.
Almost like if you're thinking about like Hellboy, like the BPRD, but for Universal Monsters.
Cool. Okay.
And he's basically the head of this organization.
Right.
So that's where you could see him.
I'll ask you after.
Oh, sure, yeah. So basically, you can see him pop in as many different films as you were able to actually generate from this franchise. Okay. It is not. Certainly, it has 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, and basically that number started off like in the mid-20s, and it kept on dwindling as the weekend went along. It's not a horrible movie. I was not angry watching the movie. There are bad movies that I've seen, which frustrates me to no end watching it.
Right.
And I get really irritated. I did not have that feeling. There are points in the movie that are annoying, but nothing that made me as furious as like bad movies that I've seen. It's not a great movie. It's not even good
action?
It's not even a good bad movie. It's it's just a film you see. Like Universal is just going too fast, too far. Like we're gonna inject all this backstory into everything to really set up this mythology in this universe.
Okay.
I would agree with some of the stuff that I've read where Tom Cruise, I love him, but he did not really have a lot of chemistry with some of the people in this. And there is a big cribbing of American Werewolf in London in this film too, which is pretty shameless. So yes.
Okay.
The effects, fine. Action sequences, they were.
So wait, sorry, what did they steal from American Werewolf? You said Werewolf in London?
I just certainly don't want to ruin anything. But
then sorry.
They stole something from American Werewolf in London. And once you see the film, you know exactly what it was. And you're like, oh, all right, nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's, if you want to go see the movie in the theater, you can. It's not, certainly, I went in with low expectations, and I wasn't irritated at all.
But it was a meh.
It's definitely a meh movie.
Okay. A couple people are like,
sure.
meh.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as the critics
Adelia
had made
says,
it out.
watch The Mummy, found it like perfect example of a meh movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's but I am curious just because they've been pretty ambitious in announcing they want to do Invisible Man with Johnny Depp, a Bride of Frankenstein film. They also want to do a Frankenstein film, and Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I just don't know what this box office is going to do for them trying to launch this universe.
Right.
I feel like they've made too much of a statement about it to not continue with it. But there's going to have to be some serious course correction on this, I think, given the reception of this film.
Sure.
And I feel like Tom Cruise is, given the way that he's been kind of roasted, or at least the film has been roasted this weekend, they are trying to set him up as kind of another pivotal character in this universe. Do you get Tom Cruise coming back after he's seen kind of what everybody's thought of this film? I don't think so. So, I don't know.
Ren, I like that. The meh.
Nice.
As in meh.
So this was the subject of our box office
good.
bet. And so Neil went with 83 million. I went with 75, and Kari, you went with 65.
I win.
Yeah, you win.
Yay!
Look at you. You nailed
I won in my
yeah. So, Neil, how excited are you to be seeing The Mummy?
After that, eulogy you just gave for the movie there, not very excited, Frank. But I will hold up my end of the bargain, and I will go see it before the next show.
I am curious to see what you think of it. It would be interesting to be able to talk a little bit more with somebody once you've seen the film.
Sure.
There are things that I am just curious about.
Chat is definitely very skeptical about this quote-unquote universe. Good point. Somebody was saying it's more that Alvin was saying the universe is more with comic books and not as so much with like it's not quite the right term, but I think it's fine if it could work between. And thanks, Adelia. Yay, Kari finally wins one.
That's right.
It's been a while.
I will say the weirdest thing about this too is that they've made such a big deal about this dark universe and the branding of it that when you watch the film starts off with the universal globe, as we always know, kind of spinning around, lands, finishes, and then it turns kind of a darker color, and then it spins the opposite direction, and the dark universe logo comes out. It's like,
and you're like,
really, guys? Okay. Right out of the gate, you're spending this much time?
It has its own Dark Universe logo?
It does, and it's like, come on, guys.
God.
Like, please, you don't have to really brand this universe like that, especially right out of the gate. Come on.
I think that's a good point there. Andrew in the chat said, rather watch John Wick than most of these movies. Yep, John Wick and John Wick 2. I like both of them. Back to that. Just other movies to rewatch or like an action, which...
No, that's true. So it's, guys, I can't say rush out and see this, but I can say that if you were to read all the reviews, it makes it sound a lot worse than it is. But it's still not a great movie.
I think Star Drew is contending what numbers you said we had.
Oh, well, I went 65?
I thought I was 65 and you were 75 because I think I was going to do 75 and I looked at your number and I was like, oh, I'm lower.
Because I thought I was comfortably sandwiched in between. So I don't know. But, who might argue with Star Drew? That's true.
That's right. It's on YouTube if y'all want to go look.
Yeah, all we know is that Neil will be seeing it, though. That we can all agree on. And I'm excited to hear Neil's thoughts on it.
Womp, womp.
I will say, in terms of, as I said, Russell Crowe's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, probably the worst interpretation of Mr. Hyde that I've ever seen.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Them some strong words there, Frank.
Yeah. Just,
okay.
Well, just even like the look and the makeup for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
You're making it real hard for me to want to go see this movie, Frank.
No, you got to go see it,
I
Neil.
know I got to
go see it.
My motivation for it is just
You're going to mummy walk there. You're like, ugh.
If you're telling your motivation was like really cradling on Russell Crowe and his depiction of
that was
Mr.
the
Hyde.
last straw. That was the last straw for me.
Your desire to go is unraveling?
Oh!
Well done, Kari. Well done.
Oh, come on.
That's right. There you go. Yes, Russell Crowe was terrible. Thank you for agreeing with me, Bruce Lee, in the chat.
I think it's Hamta. I can't wait for M. Night Shyamalan's Monster Universe starring Mr. Glass. Yeah, I thought they were going to come back to that, to Unbreakable, which that was a cool movie. And if they expand on that, that could be fun.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's M. Night's next movie. It is called Glass.
Cool.
And it stars
I remember hearing about that.
It stars Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Sweet.
And I just forgot his name. The man who starred as 23 different people in Split. James McAvoy.
Yes. Cool.
So they're all going to be getting their screen time all over again.
So as Sky Patterson says in the chat, I'm still supporting Universal Pictures Dark Universe, DCEU, and MCU. No hate here. There's no hate here, but much like, my first love is comic books and the superhero genre, so certainly my passion is going to be more about that. But I also, grew up watching, as I think many of us did, like the Universal Classic movie monsters. As for many of us, probably our most foray into the horror genre, watching that whether it's on TV or somebody shares it with you around Halloween time. And it's so I think a lot of people are just passionate about it. You want to see these characters that you grew up and loved. I'm fine with them if you want to do a updating and another telling of them, but
especially some of them, it's been so long, so it's like sure.
But you just want it to be executed well,
Yeah.
and I think that's the same thing that I had the frustrations with the DC cinematic universe until Wonder Woman. Is that just the frustrations that you're not seeing the potential that these characters have brought to light on screen. And so that's been frustrating. So I would love to see Universal's Dark Universe be a success. It'd be kind of cool if they're talking about like potentially The Rock being the Wolfman. I'm down for seeing The Rock doing something like that. But it just needs to be better storytelling.
Sure.
Please, if you're going to bring these characters back, let's do something better with them.
Yep.
To answer Star Drew in the chat, yes, I probably will be bringing Nate Torres with me to see The Mummy. Also, what do you guys think about maybe Universal thinking about jump-starting the Dark Universe again after this abysmal launch of The Mummy by bringing the Fast and Furious franchise into it? So now they're just driving around quick, trying to get away from the swamp thing.
To see them going against, man, having The Rock cross over with himself if he played both the Wolfman and...
That would be excellent.
Luke Hobbs, that would be great to see him fighting against himself.
Oh boy.
No, but on subject with the Dark Universe, I feel like it's a refreshing take on like a multi-picture universe because it has just been superhero stuff, and that has been getting a little old.
Yeah.
But with what you've said, Frank, if they could just execute it properly, I think it could be really cool.
Yeah.
This is not really a great start for them.
I like Sam Jones' theory in the chat. You know what they should do is make a real-life Mummies Alive film based on the 90s show. Yes, that animated show was so fun. Did you ever watch it?
Well, I've
was
seen bits
fun.
and pieces of it. And Lee Jen in the chat says, "What about Hyde and Extraordinary Gentleman? That was hokey." Yeah, but at least the depiction of him,
Wait,
I was down for that. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I actually remember enjoying that. I didn't hate that movie. I liked it. I don't remember it standing out as being amazing, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. I don't remember hating it.
It was definitely not as good as the comic that it was inspired by.
I had no connection there, so it's all good.
I mean, that pretty much said like Sean Connery after that film said, "You know what? I think I'm done with this acting thing. I think I'm just gonna go retire right now, guys."
Oh,
because it was by the guy that directed Blade, and those two did not get along on set. A lot of butting of heads. So Sean Connery said, "You know what? Don't need this anymore. I was James Bond. Damn it! I don't need to be putting up with this crap." Coming in at number 3, Captain Underpants, first epic movie, staying strong in the box office there. Another $12.3 million to it. Coming in number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Another $10.7 million. And then rounding out the top 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, $6.2 million. So sadly, our other 2 films, It Comes at Night.
I know, we both were like, yeah, it's going to be on there.
Nope, did not do well. And Megan Levy, whatever, that also... Yeah. It was close between Guardians and It Comes at Night. It was basically, they were very close, and then ultimately Guardians edged it out.
I was going to say, quick shout out to Cliff in the chat. Cosplayed The Mummies Alive as a group. That is awesome. Group cosplays are hard enough as is, so that's a pretty good one. So... that's cool. Totally. And then somebody mentioned, we're talking about Swamp Thing. Have you guys seen, it was going around on Facebook, and it was clips from Swamp Thing, but he's just like swearing and hating this, and like, we're a late night show. I'm like, wait, we can swear. Yeah. He's
Sure.
like, fuck this and the stupid door in my way. Have you seen this video?
Is it the live action version?
Yes. Well, it's him, like the clips, but they have like dialogue over it. And
gotcha.
My
It's not
friend
outtakes, it's actually.
my friend made it, and it was funny because people are sharing it, and then he's like, so the thing I made. I'm like, oh, that's the thing. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will post that on your Facebook. I'll go
nice.
find it. It was
All
really,
right.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I will share it with you all. I don't know. But it's very funny because it's just like Swamp Thing, the scenes from the movie, but if someone's like, oh man, this door sucks, and he like throws the door, and it's just like, oh, this thing, it's just random and funny, and it's just like one of those, like, I think somebody took it later and said like, when you're having a bad day or something like that. So yeah. Anyways,
international numbers, folks. With this weekend's grosses factored in, Universal's crossed.
sorry, can you go back on the chat? I think someone just said Beetleborgs, and that made me very excited for a second. Like, wait, what? Wait, there we go. Yes, Beetleborg, Sam Jones, good one. Yay. No, did you watch Beetleborgs?
I never watched Beetleborgs.
That was a really fun and very cheesy show. And it's funny because I was about to describe it. I'm like, wait, that would lead you into singing the theme song.
Oh, really? Well, sing the theme song, Kari. Let's see it.
I don't want to sing it, but
Come on,
I can
at
try.
least-
Okay, 3 typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, free to ghosts. Who made them Beetleborgs? Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Hey, look now, they're superheroes, armed with superpowers. Taken from a comic strip, and now they're Beetleborgs. Chorus again.
What, the Beetleborgs seems
You're
like
welcome. You're welcome.
the least exciting name for this show.
Well, because the idea is it was a comic book within their show, and so I think it was kind of meant to be kind of silly on purpose, and so they had suits kind of like Power Rangers look, like, but it was different kind of like bugs essentially. I had the action figures, and I had the little like comms that they like transform, and it was fun and cool.
Wow.
It's very 90s.
Was there a praying mantis one?
I know it was like blue. It was blue, red, and I think it was green. And then it's like they had a ghost with them, and then someone else remembered that song. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. That's some theme songs I can remember. But that one I definitely was like, yes. Anyway.
Well,
I hope you enjoyed that rendition.
After the shows, I'm gonna have to look up this theme song because it seemed ridiculous.
Oh, there we go. Sam says you got to watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
All right, Sam.
Well, you got to see the visuals too, because it was one of those. Even as a kid, I'm like, this is really cheesy, but I liked it.
All right. There you go. Don't apologize for that. There you go.
Yes.
Internationally, though, with this weekend's grosses factored in, Universal's crossed the $3 billion mark at the worldwide box office and the $2 billion mark at the international box office. Both of the milestones were achieved in record time for the studio. The totals through Sunday are $3.036 billion globally and $2.08 billion overseas. Now, it's so with Beauty crossing the $3 billion global mark today, it's topping 2015's record by 3 days, which is propelled by the $174 million worldwide start for The Mummy. So they're basically, the way they're trying to at least spin The Mummy is it's like Tom Cruise's, biggest opening ever. But this also just factors in because this was all day and date around the world. So if you were to look back at the other openings, which doesn't have that all factored in, it would seem like, because you think like Mission Impossible, certainly that must have done better, but it doesn't have all the same day and date, so it doesn't seem as big. So that's their way of Universal at least trying, hey, you know what, we're still Tom Cruise's highest opening film ever. It's kind of a, skirting them.
Like how we've looked back at what movies some people are in for the upcoming one, like those numbers are sometimes really small, but that doesn't count for inflation. That doesn't look at what time of year it came out or anything else. So it's like, Anyway.
So basically, the reason that Universal got to $3 billion globally so quickly, topping 2015, was you had, in addition to the grosses for The Mummy, you also had Fate of the Furious, which became recently the 6th film to ever cross the $1 billion overseas mark. And it is currently, in fact, at $1.007 billion offshore and $1.231 billion worldwide. This is the 5th time Universal has reached $3 billion globally in its 105-year history. It also did so in 2012, 13, 15, and 16. And it also becomes the second studio to cross the $3 billion global mark in 2017, following Disney. Look at that. So quite a busy week for Universal, despite all the lackluster reviews on this.
Yeah.
So now, of course, we've got several films in contention for this next weekend. We've got 47 Meters Down. It's a horror thriller.
Oh, yeah, that trailer.
With Mandy Moore. Yeah. It seems like, well, it's not quite like The Shallows, but it does remind me kind of that, where you're kind of isolated against a shark that's after you.
I mean, I just don't know how they're going to make a whole movie of it. Like, I saw the trailer for that in the theater for Wonder Woman. My friend goes, I don't know how they're going to make a whole movie. And I'm like, yeah, because you get the beginning, and then, like, they go down in the tank, which is cool, but, oh, darn, the rope breaks. And you're like, fucking safety shit. This is like in The Descent, when they're like, I'm going to use a carabiner that's already on the wall. Stupid. If that didn't happen, we wouldn't have had the movie, so that stuff, it just annoys me, because you're like, I don't mind if bad stuff happen. I want my character to try to do the right thing, and bad things still happen, because that's life. Bad things just still happen. But you need to have tried to do it, and then it doesn't work. So yeah, it like the rope breaks, they go down to the water, and they're stuck, and they're like, well, we still have to swim up, and there's all these sharks. I was just like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
We also have All Eyes on Me, the Tupac Shakur film, which I think, I hear he makes a little appearance there at the end of the credits to say, hey guys, I'm still alive.
Which one?
All Eyes on Me.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, Tupac really lets you know what he's been up to this whole time. He's been in hiding. Cars 3, which this... Can we just get off a little quick digression of the Cars 3 franchise? Neil, have you seen Cars, the Cars series at all?
I have not, Frank.
Kari Lane, you're an animation person. Have you watched Cars?
I saw the first. I didn't get to the second. The third, though, looks intriguing, that I was curious.
The second film is abysmal.
That's why I didn't get to it.
There's way too much Mater in that film. And I hope that they've realized that, the success of these films is not Mater. Please do not put Mater. A little of him goes a very long way.
Yeah.
He's Larry the Cable Guy, of course. And, a little him. They skewed way too much with him in the other one, and that was like, this is a terrible, terrible film.
So where were you going?
So my feeling with the Cars film is basically these are anthropomorphized vehicles.
Yes.
But all you can think about...
where are the people?
Where are the people? What is going on? And so if you start going down that rabbit hole, it just gets so... I feel like you can just get... You start questioning the entire reality. It just completely breaks this whole film for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like why are there buses driving around with eyeballs and talking? Buses are meant to carry people. Where are the people?
Yes.
Did they eat the people? What is this movie about?
I don't think I've ever actively thought about it, but then I go, oh yeah, that's a good point. But yeah.
No, you haven't really thought about that?
Not really.
I mean, you also have planes that are flying around. And yet they have seats and stuff and steering wheels built inside them. Why is there a need for all of that? Because there are no people to sit in any of those seats.
Okay, so is this really stopping your design? You're like, I don't want to see Cars 3 because of these rabbit holes that you've gone down.
No. I think the first teaser for Cars 3.
How it looked live action?
Well, that and just like it's like everything changes after this. It was a really kind of dark teaser for this film. So
Car crashing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like after this moment, nothing will be the same. I'm like, all right. I was kind of down for that, and I feel like this is going to be a definite swing up, at least from what a little I've seen, than from the second film. I feel like they've kind of course corrected, so I'm actually intrigued to see it.
Yeah, I like this in the chat. Delia goes, Mater is to Cars as Minions are to Despicable Me. If they they're kept as comical relief, but once they are made the focus, it's grating. Yes, I do agree. Like Despicable Me 1, I really liked. I'm pretty sure I saw the second one, liked it too, but then the Minions, I'm like, okay, we can tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little of them goes a long way as well.
But yeah.
Then we also have Rough Night, the Scarlett Johansson, a bachelor party kind of event. There with, I think Kate McKinnon. Yeah, Kate McKinnon's in there as well too.
That trailer looks so bad. Every trailer I've seen for that movie, I'm like,
no, you don't want to see that?
No, nothing in that trailer looks. I didn't, not even crack a smile. I'm like, really?
What about Kate McKinnon? Didn't laugh at anything she did? No,
all of it.
She's dead inside Kari Lane. Actually, no. It looks like it's going to be rough.
Sorry, I don't normally hate on movies before they even come out, but that one, just every trailer, I'm just sitting there going.
Oof. Well, one of those 4 films, you in the chat will get to vote on as what we're going to be using for our box office bet. So again, it's 47 meters down. All eyes on me, Cars 3, and Rough Night. It could be a rough night at that end.
I feel it's gonna be rough. Yes.
Folks in the chat, I don't often ask much of you, but let's vote on Rough Night because I want to see Carrie lose and have to go see this film. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. That's like the one time I watched 50 Shades of Grey with my friend, and we're like, we're gonna like drink alcohol and then watch this movie. It'll be far more fun. Thank you, Michael, in the chat. None of the movies this week are exciting.
Yeah. I mean, if looking at this, the one that I know I'll end up seeing for sure, without any prompting from losing a bet or anything, would probably be Cars 3. Go check that out.
What do you think of this one? We've talked about trailers. Sarah in the chat says, I have a rule that if I can't make it through the trailer, I don't see the movie. I don't 100% judge a movie on the trailer because, for example, the one that I absolutely hated, trailer to film, because it was horribly advertised, to me, I felt was The Fountain, because I thought it was a romance through time. And I'm like, awesome, these people are together and they get reincarnated again. I love it. Oh, hopeless romantic in me was so excited. That's not what that movie is about whatsoever.
Oh, I've not seen
and I was
The
like,
Fountain.
It's one of those, don't watch a trailer and then go watch it. I'd rather avoid trailers because there's some movies I've seen, or it's a foreign film and I've seen it without the subtitles, which has been good because there's this, it's this Indian film. It's not Bollywood, but I didn't watch it with trailers, so I didn't get one of the big reveals that they tell you in the trailer, which was great because then when it actually happened in the movie, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's called Queen. It's on Netflix. You should watch it. It's so fun, and it's like perfect feel-good movie.
Oh, excellent. What's the
Vibe.
reveal?
I'm not going to tell you. Don't watch a trailer. Do not read the description, because that's the other thing, too. Netflix has done that. They're like, here's the description, and it's like, it tells you the thing, because they did that for Sword Art Online. They tell you the thing in the description. I'm like, I didn't know that. Don't tell me that stuff. So you can't go by trailers. So Rough Night, it's just nothing in it looks funny.
Carrie is very particular about her comedy.
I am. I do have weird... Yes. But actually, side note, while people are voting in the chat, I want to do a personal plug, because if you all had watched previous episodes, I did this film competition thing. It's all done. It's over. Everything's over. It was Friday night. We had our screening. Unfortunately, neither of my films got in. I made two. Made a narrative and a documentary, which will be on YouTube. They're on YouTube. I just need to make them public. I will share the links.
Look at that. But somebody got nominated.
But I was nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy for a voiceover role, actually. Not because of the voiceover, it just happened to be. Thank you. Thank you for a good clap there. That is online. I haven't shared the link, but it's called Super Idiots. I play a policewoman we're all like superheroes, but we're like a policeman, a postman, and a fireman, but we're like superheroes. So I'm fast like the Flash. And if you guys listen to me, you can tell I talk fast. So I'd be curious, actually, for those of you who listen, I'd be like, how well? You're like, that sounds like you. But it's a similar voice, but faster and a little higher pitched. And it came out pretty funny. The audience laughed a whole lot. And so it's called Super Idiots. I will be posting a link on my YouTube as well. And I'll tag you guys so you can see it. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Hot dog. Look at that.
And I'll tag my other ones. But yeah.
Please, let's see. I want to see the documentary. I think that'd be really cool.
And then narrative will be fun. We're talking about horror movies. So it's kind of it's a horror dark comedy. I'll tell you that.
Look at that. We're going to see...
oh, yeah, wait. Now I can tell you the name of too, because you guys were so kind and nice trying to help with names. So the name I ended up doing for my horror movie is How to Get... I'm all, wait, no, because we went through a few versions. I'm like, wait. How to Get Your Protein.
Ah, nice. Mm-hmm. It's like How to Lose a Ghost in 10 Days. No. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I'm like, no.
Nope.
But yeah, there you go. Maybe I'll leave a comment on this video too, since I talked about the movies. But
look at that.
They're on YouTube. I just need to go and make them listed now.
Stop being so stingy. Share the goodness.
I know. I did a little bit. But we couldn't because of the contest. They're like, you can't publicly share these, otherwise you're disqualified.
Yeah,
but
gotcha.
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So before we get the results of our box office bet here, we usually like to do a box office rewind where we look back at somebody that's in one of our upcoming films. And slim pickings this week, as we all know, even from the chat, we're talking about just the films themselves. Nothing's that enticing. I went with Owen Wilson, as we're talking about Cars 3.
Cute.
So he does Lightning McQueen. So look back at his films. Of course, the top two films were both the Cars films. So we're excluding that. So we'll do his other non-related Cars films. Starting at number 5 for him, Little Fockers from Universal, from back in 2010, $30.8 million.
Is that the Oh yeah, no, I don't think I saw that one. Because is that after the Meet the Fockers and
Yes.
like that? Okay, it's Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, then Little Fockers.
Yeah, when they have kids.
Okay, yeah, no, I only saw the first one, and I didn't see the rest of them.
I've seen all of them, and yeah, they're probably
I like the first one.
First one's probably the best of the three.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also, if you want to see Dustin Hoffman on a toilet, you don't want to miss the second one, I guess.
I almost walked out of the second one.
Why, Neil?
Was so frustrating. How this poor person can't get anything done without both families getting at his neck. I was like, I can't deal with this kind of stress. I need to leave this movie. It was like a friend's birthday party, and I was just like when you go to a pizza place and you go see a movie for a birthday party. And I was just like, nope, I'm sorry, Vivian, I need to leave. This is awful.
Oh.
Wow,
Neil. I can't believe you deserted your friend like that.
I've never walked out on
10 other people there, so she was fine.
Okay.
Well, I felt like with only 10 other people there, your absence was felt that much more.
In the theater. 10 people in the theater.
Holy cow. I do remember when I saw, speaking of things, movies with low people in the theater. Freddy Got Fingered, that Tom Green film. I went and saw that. I think I went and saw it by myself, and there were 10 people when the film started, and this is opening weekend. And when the lights went up, there were 3 of us left. That was it.
A couple people are asking in the chat, Sarah, good question. If you've walked out of a movie and which one? People in the chat are saying yes. I like the Bruce Lee, you won't want to walk out of the movie because you'll be sleepy. I have never walked out of a theater, ever. There are only 2 movies I've ever not finished on DVD because I remember, because I'm like, normally I finish everything. I don't not finish a movie. I have not finished... it was the second Warriors of Virtue movie. I like the first one a lot. It was so cool and random and way throwback for the people who remember that one. But the second one was just really slow, and I just stopped. I still want to finish it, but I didn't. And then the live-action version of Kite, or Kite for the American pronunciation, because it was just so rough to watch. It's so hard. Because it was such a good anime, and it's dark and violent, and then the live-action movie, you're just like, I don't really care.
I don't think
that's the only ones. What about you?
I don't think I've ever actually walked out of a movie.
Have you not finished a DVD or on TV? Like sorry, not on TV, like a service or a DVD, like you put it on and you just stopped?
No, I never, I never have. I've always stuck it out to the end.
Nice.
Neil, other than rejecting Little Fockers.
Oh no, it wasn't Little Fockers. It was Meet the Fockers.
I'm sorry. Yes, rather Meet the Fockers.
I didn't even give Little Fockers a chance.
Well, now go back and give it a try.
I absolutely will not. I can't. Other than that, I can't remember specifically like turning off a movie for being frustrated for it or leaving a theater. Other than that one, I will, however, say that I saw a movie called Beneath Loch Ness, and when I was younger, and that was the movie. When it was over, I said to myself, "Okay, Neil, there are times when you can just turn off a movie and walk away. This is your lesson." That movie was so bad. That was like the first movie I saw when I was younger. When I was like, okay, there are movies that are just going to be absolute garbage, and if you see those start to happen, just leave. Just save your time. And just put on Brendan Fraser's Mummy, because you know it's a classic and it's brilliant.
I guess there is that time in your life when you realize, like, oh yeah, not everything I watch, whether it be in TV shows or films, is good. There is stuff that is genuinely not good at all.
I still want to finish it. I just can't not. But I do agree. Someone was commenting like maybe they didn't purposefully stop, but they fell asleep. I have done that, and then I'll try to like go back and be like, crap, what did I miss? And some of them, it's sad when it's like literally the last 5 minutes, and you're like, man, I was so close.
Actually, no, that reminds me like Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
I've never seen that movie from beginning to end. Anytime I've ever tried to watch it, I have fallen asleep.
I fell asleep at least twice watching the first Pirates of the Caribbean. It was the same spot too. And one of them, it was at my local theater, and the second one was at a special screening at SAG with Johnny Depp there. I was awake for the Q&A, but it was funny that one spot. So finally, by the third time, I'm like, that's the scene I was missing.
I would have liked it during the Q&A with Johnny Depp if you would have only asked him, like, what happened after I fell asleep? If you could just give me just a quick rundown. Just bullet pointer for me, Johnny.
Yeah.
I think I'm speaking for many people in the audience when I say I fell asleep. Getting back to Owen Wilson here real quickly. Coming in number 4 for his top 5,
Okay.
The Haunting from DreamWorks back in 1999, 33.4. I don't remember much about that film.
I don't remember that one either.
Wedding Crashers from New Line back in 2005.
See, that's a comedy I really liked.
Yeah,
that was
all
a
right.
good one.
$33.9 million. Yeah, that wasn't bad. Marley and Me, 2008, $36.3 million.
Deals with an animal. Nope.
Man, it's
Nope.
Yeah.
Not gonna watch
The
it.
movie's not. The movie's kind of but I mean the ending still. I mean, how can you not get emotional about that? And number 1 for good old Owen Wilson, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian,
I actually like all the Night at the Museum movies.
$54.1 million. All 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Well, the one thing I do like about the third one is that they reached a definitive ending, and at least a definitive ending for Ben Stiller's character.
Yeah, it was one of those like it was. They're definitely better and worse for sure, but they were fun. They're just fun.
Would you ever see them continuing it with Rebel Wilson?
I hope not.
No, I can't imagine
No,
that.
I hope not.
No. But I could also worry that Ben Stiller would pop up in some sort of cameo, which would sadden me. It's like, Ben, you had the out. Let's do it. Let's just stay away. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're getting ready as the box office bet is happening. I know people are keeping track. Albin, of course, you're in the chat. That's why we love you. You're keeping track of this. Before we get the final results on that, we got to do our top 5 for next week real quick. As I mentioned, we've got 47 Meters Down, All Eyes on Me, Cars 3, and Rough Night. Now, 47 Meters Down, opening up in 3,500 screens. All Eyes on Me, 2,400. Cars 3, 3,900. And Rough Night, 3,000. So in terms of, for the most part, these are, pretty big releases for films that a lot of people, at least going by the chat and us, aren't that excited about.
Okay, Cars 3, if only because it's part of the franchise, kids, family movie, gonna do great.
Yeah.
It really could be a maybe or not that it goes past Captain Underpants, but Captain Underpants will keep going down. So then, so that's the only other kids movie right now to compete with.
I think it beats Wonder Woman.
Cars?
Yeah. You don't think so?
That's what I mean. It's either going to be really good, like us, we're the tentative people going, but number 2 was so like fun. But I think a lot of people are really excited about 3 because of how they did that campaign of like, oh, what? New trailers, new ads, and like how they advertise it. It's like, okay. And then, Rough Night. I mean, it's female comedy. It does have a lot of big names in it, but All Eyes on Me, and then 47 Meters Down. The trailer was like,
Do you think anything, at least for me, and nothing here on this list other than Cars 3 could beat Wonder Woman? Do you
I think
agree?
just Cars. Yeah, Cars 3 could probably be the only thing.
Neil?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know if it'll make I don't know if it'll break 100 million. It probably can. Well, a lot of what people forget about though is that Middle America NASCAR audience is huge, and they might propel this movie to be a real big opening. I personally think it's going to be just like a decent opening for Disney, but I think it's definitely going to beat Wonder Woman in its 3rd week. I mean, Wonder Woman did 56 this last weekend. It'll drop another 40 or 50% maybe.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll definitely make more than 25.
If
that's how you want to think about it.
Yeah, I feel like, much like Avatar, The Mummy's really gonna have a strong 2nd week, guys.
Sorry, side note in the chat, but like, haha, good point. Muamta says, was Rough Night the black one? No, there's another one coming out that's the same, like, few girls.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, that one looks funny, though. That trailer I laughed at, but not Rough
Night?
I'm totally blanking on what that
I
other
can't
one's
remember the
name
name
is,
of
though.
it. Yeah.
I've only seen one ad for it, though, in my defense, and its own defense, too. I only saw one Rough Night. I've seen too many ads, so...
Well, this one is the girls all like down towards the bottom, looking up at like
Yes,
between
the
2
legs.
guys' legs. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, just looks more fun. If you guys remember the name of the movie, just add it in the chat. Or sorry if you're watching this later. I'm like, I don't remember the name, but it looked good. Oh, wait. Sorry. While they're doing that, who has watched trailer for, oh man, I'm like all blanking on names right now.
Black Panther.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I was like, dark color, no, black.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Black Panther. Yes. Oh my gosh, that looks
That
so
looks really
good.
exciting. That does.
So good.
Neil, are you excited about the film?
Oh yeah, that movie looks great. And I was watching that with my fiance, and she just in the middle of the trailer just exclaimed, "Look at all that beautiful melanin!" It looks fantastic. I mean, that movie just looks like nothing. Well, it's going to be like nothing we've ever seen, just because of the cast of characters. I'm really looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air, Frank.
Yeah, well, what I'm liking about it is I feel like, and I'm hoping that this is the direction that Marvel's going to go into, where now that they've really established a solid base of their films, and they've got sort of like a house style, basically,
Okay.
but to start tweaking it and breaking it and let individuals come in and really push it and show more of their flavor into it. So you kind of see,
sure.
because I feel like that's what Marvel can't rest on its laurels. They got to keep pushing to get audiences engaged. So you've got to let creators be able to come in and give them the freedom to kind of tell the story that they want, both visually, as well as structure wise too.
Yeah, trailer looks so good. And then there's been a few things that also even people behind the scenes are also people of color, which is great. And women, like set design and costumes. There's been articles of that being shared on Twitter, and you're like, yes!
A friend of mine told me to look up, and he was reading to it this morning at work, but to look up under the hashtag Black Panther is lit. So it's just people just chiming in about the reactions to the trailer. And wanting to go see the film opening weekend. And say like opening film, my favorite one that he read to me was that they'll also be giving out limited edition church fans.
Yes, I saw that. Woo! Chris Evans, like, first in line. I'm like, yay, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
What was another one, too? It was so good of... the images of coming to America, and it's like what I'm going to wear to Black Panther. So good. Oh, just seeing people's reactions and enthusiasm shows that, like, people are wanting this, needing this kind of a movie. So it's like, yes.
No,
and it seems like
really cool.
just deliver the trailer. Everybody's already excited. Just keep that. Whatever you're doing right in that, you need to keep that.
I'm curious to see if there's going to be either a Steve Rogers or a Winter Soldier cameo in that film. I'll be curious.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Neil, your thoughts?
on Black Panther.
What do you think the odds
Or-
of seeing Steve Rogers or Winter Soldier cameo in that film?
I don't think Steve Rogers. I think Evans has billed himself a little bit too high. Winter Soldier might. It could be that might be a good pull there, Frank.
Oh,
I have my top 5 though.
Lay
Yes.
it on me. Well, speaking
Do
of
it.
top 5, lay it on us,
Do
Neil.
it.
Yeah, I got Cars 3, Wonder Woman, Rough Night, The Mummy, and All Eyes on Me.
Wow. Wow.
I'm going to agree, but change and make 47 meters down my 5.
All right. See, I
Interesting.
thought about that, but I honestly think that people are going to look at that trailer and think, I'll catch it on Netflix.
Maybe, but
there might be at least people seeing a Tupac movie
Mm-hmm.
might ride the wake of that NWA movie that came
Yeah.
out. I don't know. It's honestly besides Cars 3 and Wonder Woman, everything else is just a toss up. I think.
Ken Jack
Yeah.
agrees with me in the chat. Or you already said your number, but then I agreed. Side note of a nerddom too. The opening for Black Panther is that it's technically Bilbo and Gollum together.
That's true. There you go.
You're like,
Yeah.
nerd stuff.
Look at that. Yeah.
Somebody else put that, and then I would go, oh my gosh, you're right.
All right, I would say I think I might go with Kari's lineup there. I think it's tough to say All Eyes on Me or 47 Meters Down, but I think horror maybe.
I feel horror's gonna, and summer shark movies. You know what though? A weird one, total reminded me of that was so cheesy, but I actually really liked was the Piranha remake. Was so fun.
With the one with Adam Scott.
Yeah, that was just so over the top, but they knew it and
Yeah.
they went with it. And so I feel those kind of not monster, but like killer animal movies do well at summer of like sharks, piranhas, So maybe the 47 meters down, might do it. But anyway, if you guys never saw that piranha movie, it's actually really fun.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into our time for our box office bet. Let's see. Here we go. Rough Night winning this one easily 7-2 votes.
They
for
all just
Cars
want to
3.
go because of how much I was hating on it.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the box office bet. Of course, we're going to all place our bet on what we think the opening box office is going to be for Rough Night in this case.
Did we all say third?
Yeah, the film voted on by you in the chat. The one who gets closest gets bragging rights. They are the prognosticator amongst prognosticators. The loser will have to go see this film, and I hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be Kari Lane, and tell us all about it. So, real quick again, Rough Night from Sony and Columbia, 3,000 screens. Scarlett Johansson, Kate McKinnon. I can't tell you anybody else past that. That's the only 2 names I do remember from that film. Oof. All right. Boy. Oh.
No, I'm not even getting my brain's like, no, too much pressure. Wait. So if we're thinking Cars, Wonder Woman down would be maybe 25-ish. So it'd be less than that.
I got a number.
Can I hear your number?
But no,
No,
wait.
you gotta hear your number.
Don't let her trick you like that, Neil. All right.
Ooh, we got a couple people saying 15 and 10. I'm liking those numbers.
Kari, you're using the audience to base your answer.
Yeah, I got to go with what I
Okay.
got to go with my gut. What it told me, I'm not going to be swayed.
I might be too low, but
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Neil in the booth. What is your number, sir?
I said 12 million.
Oh, dang it!
13.
What 19? What have I done?
Oh no!
What have I done?
Wait, no!
What have I done? No.
I was almost gonna do 15. No, guys. When you're saying like who should go first, no. We put our numbers in our phones. I mean, I don't know what Neil he maybe writes on paper, but Frank
No,
and
yeah, I do the same thing.
Okay, cool. And if you guys are listening, or if you can't tell from visually doing this, we are all typing it in, not changing it, and then showing each other. So don't worry, there is no like adjusting after or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry,
So-
I
You
went
said 13, right, Kari?
I did. 13. I would show you, but it's way too far away.
I'm
but,
actually keeping a record of our top 5 and our bet this week.
Okay. I like Star Drew. Thanks for the support there. It's like nuts. Carrie's in the middle. I'm safe. I almost did 15, and then I kind of like the 12. Then Neil and I would have been tied, but then I'm like, I'm gonna go with 13.
Son, man. 19. What if I that's what I get for listening to my gut. Dang it.
Hey, well, Frank, if it ends up being like 15.
I'm still seeing the movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
if we get the 16 range, I'm good. I gotta be 16 for Neil.
Backfired on you, huh?
Give me 16, guys. That's all I'm asking for. At
all
least
y'all throwing
16.
shade in the chat. It's like, booyah. Get my sunglasses.
Dang it. Oh man. All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Everybody.
Good slow clap.
Continuing the thread of things I don't ask much for, but go see Rough Night, guys. Just go see Rough. I bet it'll be fun.
Tell all your friends. Get everyone to go.
Yes, please.
Get a posse together. And everyone go see Rough Night with Frank.
We don't need to get to 19. I'm not going to be greedy. Just get me to 16. That's all I'm asking.
16.
Yeah, just get me to 16. That's all. That's all. I don't think we can do this. I think this is an achievable
Honestly,
goal.
thinking about it, it might not even make 8. It's going up against Cars. Oh, man.
We'll find out.
Dang it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sad. We're gonna end this episode on a real down note for me, but a very great note for Kari and Neil, because I feel like they are going to be very safe this coming weekend.
I feel pretty safe.
Kari is extremely safe. So
might be a rough night for you.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a very rough night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Sky Patterson, thank you for that fine compliment there. I will not be looking that good come next Sunday night, though. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Of course, folks, thanks so much for hopping in the chat. You make this show so much fun for us to do, so thank you for joining in. We really appreciate your participation. If you want to like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't just give us one thumb. How many thumbs did they give us, Kari?
Well, you can only really do one, unless you have other YouTube accounts, which I do. I have more than one. But
there you go. As many thumbs as you have accounts. Do that. Just thumb it up. Throw those thumbs around.
Yep.
Be very liberal with your thumbs. And if you want to continue the conversation with us even after the show's over, Neil, where can they find you, sir?
You guys can find me everywhere at the Neil Plumley. That's TheNeilPlumley. Hit me up. Let's talk about that 12 million 12 million weekend that Great Night's gonna have. It's gonna be a good week.
Oh my God.
Nice. And you can find me online, probably not watching Rough Night, at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And then if you go on Instagram during my stories, we got fun behind the scenes stuff here at the studio and showing off my espionage cosmetics eyeshadow.
Man, guys, let's all work together
He's
this
like,
week.
no.
Let's all work together this weekend and go see Rough Night. Again, we just need 16. Guys, I believe in all of us. I believe in the power of the box office. There you go. Box Office Breakdown fans, I know you guys want this for me. I don't ask. It's consider an early birthday gift for me. Ladies and gentlemen, you can send shade, laugh at me, do everything you want. And my Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie, or send your condolences. Oh, God. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll see you back here next Sunday night. Oh, man.
See ya.
Right here on Popcorn Talk. What have I done? What have I done?
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.